Hi everyone. So thank you for joining us for our second live in this session that in these sessions that we're doing with our members at the Speakers Collective. My name's Chandy and I'm the social media assistant at the organisation, and I'm going to be leading today's conversation with Jonathan. If you do have any questions, please put them in the chat. Hopefully we'll be able to see them and get around to them at some point. But also please like and share and engage with this video after it's been posted, because that helps get the word out about the collective and what all of our members are doing, and the amazing work that people like Jonathan are doing. So I guess without further ado, Jonathan, do you want to talk about your background and what drew you to be a member of the Speakers Collective?
Okay, so my name's Jonathan Hirons. I'm a relatively new member of the collective. My story is that in 2019, I had a stroke, which left me with aphasia. Now, aphasia is a very strange thing. Most people haven't heard about it. What it has happened to me is when I had the stroke, although I was okay, I had problems with my language. So the problems was when I first had the stroke, I couldn't really speak, couldn't really sort of write or read, and I had to relearn my reading and writing, which took me the rest of that year, I suppose, to kind of get back. I had some speech therapy, obviously. I say obviously, but I did, from the NHS, and my wife Anne was great in helping me trying to get back on track. She's a psychologist, so she kind of understands people's problems in that sense. So she brought some great ideas to help me get back on track, as it were. So while I was doing all this, I met some people in a group for people with aphasia, and having spoken to them a few times, I decided that I'd ask them if I could do some little films about them and their problems and about aphasia itself. So that kind of started the whole thing off with the tip of my tongue, which became eventually a documentary. So having started doing little videos for the aphasia group, I built it up into an actual documentary about me and some of the people I've met who have aphasia. Aphasia not everybody has strokes. Sometimes it's head injuries as well. And I wanted to, when I made the film, I wanted to show that it isn't people, typically people who have strokes tend to be in the older age group. But I found some people who were a lot younger. One of the girls was 22, I think, and the lad was he was 30, 32, something like that. So I wanted to talk about young people as well as older people, to show that this thing, aphasia, can hit on any person and whatever time of life, and as well as that. So I had to raise some money to make the film. So it took me a while to do that. So I raised enough money to make the film, and in 2022 I released the film itself, which you can find online through my website, which is On the Tip of My Tongue Film. So since then, I've been looking at other things to do around aphasia, because it's about raising awareness. Everything I do is about raising awareness about aphasia, which most people have never heard of. That's the problem. The first problem. The second problem is aphasia is really a difficult thing to understand, because everybody with aphasia is different. I'm different from some of the people in the film and so on. So some people can't speak at all. I speak reasonably well, but I do have problems with reading and writing. And so in order to keep things going, I decided, maybe, as podcasts are the thing these days, everybody seems to have a podcast. So I thought, well, why shouldn't I do one as well? So last year, I got my friend of mine, who's a very old, dear friend of mine, who's an actor, to come in with me and be my co-host. And the idea was that I would tell him what aphasia was about, and we would talk to different people about aphasia. And it may be people who are carers, maybe people who have run charities. It could be people from the medical profession, for example. So we've done 6 of those, and we're just about to start to do some more. Amazing. So that's a quick rundown of where we are.
It sounds like an amazing journey, and it sounds like you've maybe done some self-discovery along that journey. What have you learned about yourself post having the stroke?
Yeah, I said it's a good question. I suppose I don't give up. I've never thought of my that sort of side of things, but in fact, my wife Anne said to me the other day, "You never really give up, do you?" I would have given up ages ago, sort of thing. So I suppose that's the thing I've learned, is that you just have to carry on with whatever you're trying, particularly with this, because I'm quite. I want people to know about this problem, and there are 300,000 people in this country have aphasia, so it's not unknown by a long chalk, but because it's such a difficult thing to have, everybody's, as I've just said, everybody's slightly different. So I suppose going back to your question is, I suppose that's what it is, that I haven't given up with, I just carry on and find other ways of doing what I'm doing.
And did that determination help you go forward with the fundraising? Because I know you said that you had to raise the money. It wasn't like something that was like you had to basically do this all yourself.
Yeah, I had to do it all myself. I mean, to be fair, through the filming and the podcast, it's not just me. I mean, I've got, as I said, I've got a co-host, Rob Edwards, who does, not only sits on the podcast, but also feeds in with the ideas and comes back with the, and my wife Anne also, she's in the background helping with understanding what's going on and giving me some pointers and help with the of keeping it going. So yeah, I mean, it's but going back to the fundraising, it is constant, to be honest, and anybody who runs that it is raised money knows that you just have to keep, it never stops. So it took me probably over a year to raise enough money to do the film.
And what was the response from people who saw the film and kind of that came with you on that journey?
Yeah, it's very positive, and it gets every so often. I get some feedback from people to say, "Oh, I've just watched the film," or they've just heard the podcast or whatever it is. So that obviously that helps you carry on, because you know that somebody's actually seen what you've done, and very well it's very difficult to be heard in social media, for example. Most of the stuff we do is through social media, as you obviously know, through LinkedIn and Facebook and so on and so forth. I have somebody who works with me on media, so I've got a PR lady who who does most of the social media for me. But she's working every month on keeping things going. I've discovered you can't stop. If you stop, everybody's gone, oh, what's happened to them? So this is something that, as I say, it becomes almost it's not quite a full-time job, but it's pretty busy job.
And you said a minute ago that aphasia affects over 300,000 people.
Yeah.
Do you think that the awareness is shifting and that more people are becoming aware of the condition and how to live with it?
It's getting better as far as I can find out. The problem is there is no national there's no national body that looks after aphasia. It's quite fragmented. So there are lots of there's an organization called Say Aphasia, and they're in across the country, but they're in sort of pockets. There's no sort of national aphasia association that you could point at, like Parkinson's, for example. Most people have probably heard of Parkinson's, but there are fewer people have Parkinson's that have aphasia. So that's the problem that is still, I think, is still there, is that people still don't understand or haven't heard about it. So there's kind of the raising of awareness is quite it's quite hard work.
And how do you look after yourself in all of this? Obviously, mental health is something the Speakers Collective is passionate about, and all of our members have their own lived experience. And for you as a member of the collective, how do you look after yourself when you speak about all the challenges that you've mentioned?
Well, it's the two things. I play football. I play walking football every week, and that is quite an incredible thing because you get together with some people of my age, and we, kick a ball about, and it's quite a good, it's a great sort of group, that social group. So that helps me a lot. As you probably noticed in the background, I do play guitar. So that's another thing that I kind of keeps me doing other things rather than it's you're right. It's difficult. Sometimes you could be just doing this all the time, and it could get. I think it could be a problem. Really, it could be hard on your mental health, I guess. But fortunately, it's not too bad for me.
And it sounds like you've got an amazing support network around you.
Yes, indeed. As I said, obviously my wife, I say obviously, but my wife also is very proactive. So, I can run things past her, and she'll say, and she doesn't always say yes. Sometimes she'll say, no, you don't want to do that. That's not a very good idea. So yeah, that's a good. As my co-host Rob, he's been great over time. He's helping out with lots of things, and we have some fun as well. Let's be. It's not all hard work. We do have a good time doing these things. Well,
and do you find that by helping other people tell their narrative and their experiences around aphasia, that it's teaching you more about the condition and about your own diagnosis?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that only the other day. I was thinking how much I know now compared to 5 years ago, which when I didn't even know what it was, and kind of I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I think I could probably hold my own to a certain extent, about the subject. So and that's something I think I could probably pass on to others, my experience. And I'm not saying that everybody should make films, but get involved.
And John from the Speakers Collective has put details of your website and
Sure. Yeah.
Speakers Collective in the chat, so anyone that wants to learn more about yourself can go and check that out.
That'd be great. Yeah.
What are you working towards currently, and what's the goals for the next couple of months and years going forward?
Right. Well, I've always got something on the go. So we're going to do. We've got 6 more podcasts to do. I've got actually one of our members of the collective is going to join us on one podcast, and we're probably going to do him next week or the week after, whatever. Tom Ryan, and so we've got that. So I've got 6 of those on the go. That are varying levels of readiness, shall we say. Some things we've actually said yes, they're going to go. Some we've got to have the discussions and so on and so forth. So probably over the next 3 months or so, we'll be doing the podcasts. We tend to do about one every 3 weeks, something like that. Then I would still want to do another film to really just to follow up with picking up your point. After 5 years, I've got another lot of things to say as well. So it would be quite interesting to revisit, I suppose, what happened in the first film and try and catch up and see what's happened, 4 years later. And the other thing, which I can't really talk too much about, is that I'm going to produce a fictional film, a fictional short, but that's still in process. But that is probably going to happen, but probably maybe next year or something like that. Again, we're back to finding money to do these things. I mean, even the podcast costs, £250 an episode, to do. So I'm always looking for people to I've forgotten the word. I forgot. Sorry, my words tend to go. Anyway, yes, that's what's happening with me.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today, Jonathan.
It's been amazing. Thank you.
Hear about your work.
Yeah.
And to anyone watching this live or after the recording's gone out, please go and check out Jonathan's work and all the other Speakers Collective members on our website. Details of that can be found in the chat below. And yeah, hopefully in a couple of months or once you've got some more work out of the way and you've got a clear idea of what other things are happening, we can have you back on for a live.
That'd be great. Fantastic. This has been really good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.